It's the week of May 3rd, 2022. My name is Rosie.
And I'm Gray. Welcome to your last student edition of Ruth Fisher News of this year.
Last Thursday, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, or FWS, announced that 6 red wolf pups had been born in the wild. That's great news for endangered red wolves and marks the first time these pups have been born in the wild since 2018. The litter of 6 pups was found in North Carolina's Alligator River National Wildlife Refuge. 2 of the pups are males and 4 are females. Since only 15 to 17 red wolves are still living in the wild, having 6 new wild-born pups is a huge deal. Long ago, red wolves lived all throughout the U.S. Southeast, but as the wolves were hunted and more land was taken over for cities, roads, and farms, the wolves began to die out. In 1973, a new law called the Endangered Species Act was passed. It was designed to make animals protected that were in danger of dying out, like red wolves. At the time, there were only about 17 red wolves remaining in the wild. They lived on the coast in Louisiana and Texas. 14 of those wolves were caught and kept in captivity to protect them. The program was called the Red Wolf Recovery Program. By 1980, red wolves were believed to be extinct in the wild. The FWS is already working to protect the new pups. Workers have taken samples of the pups' DNA and put small microchips under their skin to make it easier to identify them. When the pups get older, they'll probably be given tracking collars like most of the wild adult red wolves. With luck, they'll have even more company next year.
We know that trees help clean the air we breathe in by taking carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. But have you ever heard of a mechanical tree? ASU has one of the first and it stands 33 feet tall when fully extended. Arizona State University's new mechanical tree looks a lot different than the variety of trees that can be found surrounding it. But while the poplar trees absorb carbon dioxide through photosynthesis, it is the mechanical tree's express purpose to do better than the real trees. The tree is a pioneering effort by Klaus Lackner, a sustainable engineering professor at ASU, has spent over 2 decades researching carbon capture and storing technologies. Lackner estimates the tree is 1,000 times more efficient at absorbing carbon than a natural tree. The tree's trunk is a metal vessel, and its leaves are 150 metal discs. Much like a real tree, it's the leaves, or discs, that do all of the work. The discs are then collected and dropped into a container where a scientist removes the air, warms up the environment, and adds moisture. The container then has a mixture of CO2 and water vapor, which the scientist extracts, cleans, and compresses to make liquid carbon dioxide. That liquid CO2 then can be used in other applications. Now, let's go over to Mr. Dobesh with the weekly update.
Good morning, Ruth Fisher Colts. We are winding the school year down. State testing is done, completed, and over with. Hopefully you did your best on those tests. As we finish the school year out, a couple of reminders. One is make sure behaviors are in line with our handbook. Make sure you're treating people with respect, treating staff members with respect, and following our rules and expectations around campus as we close out the last month here of the month of May. Other kind of announcements, good luck Vex. Vex Robotics teams for the middle school are in Dallas, Texas this week. So good luck at your Worlds competition starting Wednesday, Thursday are the 2 big days of competition. So good luck guys with that and ladies. You guys will represent our school very well. Softball, maybe they are in playoffs this week. They have a game today against Natterburg. This is being recorded on Thursday. So hopefully they have a game this Thursday for the championship for the district. If not, girls, you did a great job this season, improved. Either way, good job this year. Baseball's done, so good job guys too. Other announcements, really, that's it. I think the biggest thing, kind of remind students, is as the year comes to a close, you're still held to those same behavior expectations from the beginning of the year. You understand what's expected of you on campus, and making sure you are treating people with respect and treating your school with respect as we come to a close. With that, make it a great day, and we'll see you around campus.
Thank you, Mr. Dovish. Let's go over to Charlie with sports.
Welcome to sports. My name is Charlie. The Diamondbacks are currently 6-11 in the season. They are still struggling to get runs and currently have the 4th lowest total runs scored in the league. This weekend, they will start a 9-game homestand, which will see Colorado, Miami, and Chicago all come to town over the next week and a half. The Arizona Coyotes season is officially over. They will be moving to Tempe for at least the next 3 to 4 years while trying to work out an arena deal. They have lots of picks in the upcoming draft, so we will hopefully see some big improvements in the team over that time. The Suns have had a rough start to their playoff run. At the time of filming, they are ahead in the series 3-2 in what should have been a fairly easy matchup against the New Orleans Pelicans. Devin Booker has been out with a hamstring injury. Hopefully by the time you are watching this, they would have picked up the 4th win to move to the next round, giving Booker some time to heal. That is all for today. See you next year on Sports News.
Thanks, Charlie. Here's Aubrey with entertainment news.
Welcome back to Entertainment News. I am Aubrey. There are lots of cool things to do this summer in our area and all around the state. Let's take a look at some of them. First up, check out the BuckeyeAZ.gov website for all the events that are happening at the Buckeye Libraries. They have programs on learning origami, story times, and even coding classes. The Buckeye City Pool will open back up this year at the end of May. They even sell season family passes for up to 6 family members for $150. The Buckeye City Pool is located in downtown Buckeye, not far from the post office. You can even get some beach time at one of Arizona's several lakes or recreation areas on the Salt River. All you need is a day pass that can be picked up at most Walgreens or grocery stores nearest to the lakes or river. Many of them have areas where you can grill your food, and all you need to do is bring a chair, a swimsuit, and some sunblock to have a great time. Have a great summer and be safe. See you next time on Entertainment News.
Thanks, Aubrey. Let's go over to Josh and Cameron with Fun Fact Trivia.
Welcome to Fun Fact Trivia. My name's Josh.
And I'm Cameron. Did you know that today, May 3rd, is National Teachers Day, Teachers Appreciation Day? This day falls on the first Tuesday of May every year. It's a day for honoring teachers and recognizing the lasting contributions they make to our lives. Teachers have a hard job, but do it because of us.
Today, make sure you tell your teacher thank you for all the work they've put in for it, even when you're not at school. The late nights grading papers, the weekends spent making lesson plans and planning activities to make learning as fun as possible. Your question today is which former U.S. president was a teacher before becoming president? Is it A, William Taft,
B, Herbert Hoover,
or C, Lyndon Johnson?
You have 10 seconds to make your decision. If you said C, Lyndon Johnson, you are correct.
When he was in his early 20s, he taught at 3 different schools. Records report he was an excellent teacher and received many positive references.
Fun fact, teachers might not always remember your name in the years to come, but they love to hear that they make a difference in your life and that you remember being in their class. See you next time on Fun Fact Trivia.
Thanks, guys. Here's Kelsey and Ariza with Joke of the Week.
Hello, and welcome to the Joke of the Week. My name is Arisa. And I'm Kelsey. Okay, Arisa, what's your joke? Why do people always tell actors to break a leg? I don't know. Why do people always tell actors to break a leg? Because plays always have a cast. Great joke, Arisa. Have a great summer. See you next time on Joke of the Week. Thanks, girls. Let's go over to Hope and Gabriel with This Week in History.
Hello and welcome to This Week in History. I'm Gabriel.
And I'm Hope. On this day, May 3rd, 1952, a ski-modified plane piloted by Joseph O. Fletcher of Oklahoma and William P. Benedict of California becomes the first aircraft to land on the North Pole. A moment later, Fletcher climbed out of the plane and walked to the exact geographic North Pole, probably the first person in history to do so. In the early 20th century, American explorers Robert Peary and Dr. Frederick Cook, both claiming to have separately reached the North Pole by land, publicly disputed each other's claims.
In 1911, Congress formally recognized Peary's claim. In recent years, further studies of the conflicting claims suggest that neither expedition reached the exact North Pole, but that Peary came far closer, falling perhaps 30 miles short. In 1952, Lieutenant Colonel Fletcher was the first person to undisputedly stand on the North Pole. Standing alongside Fletcher on the top of the world was Dr. Albert P. Carey, a scientist who in 1961 traveled to the South Pole by motorized vehicle, becoming the first person in history to have stood on both poles.
See you next year with more of This Week in History.
Thanks, guys. Here's Jay with Sign Time.
Welcome to Science Time. My name is Jay. The amount of microplastics in our oceans has received worldwide attention. However, the abundance of tiny plastic fragments in the soil has largely gone unnoticed. A 2018 study by German scientists found that microplastic pollution on land far exceeds marine microplastic pollution. Previous research has shown that plants often absorb microplastics that either end up in the produce we consume or accumulate inside the plant's root systems. This led scientists from Germany's Leibniz Institute for Freshwater Ecology and Inland Fisheries to wonder if plants could be used to remove plastic particles from ecosystems in a controlled manner. He found that birch trees were able to absorb and store microplastics in the trunk of the tree. While the early results are encouraging, the team still needs to determine the microbeads' impact on the birch trees. Promising as the news is, trees alone will not help solve our ever-growing plastic pollution problem. For that to happen, we will all have to do our part. We can help solve this problem by reducing or perhaps even eliminating the use of single-use plastic in our daily lives. See you next year, I said year, with more Science Time.
Thanks, Jay. Let's go over to Kelsey with Word of the Week. Welcome to Word of the Week. My name is Kelsey. This week's word is epitome. Epitome is a noun and it means a typical or ideal example. Here is how you can use it in a sentence. The famous hotel built in the 1930s is the epitome of Art Deco style. See you next year on Word of the Week. Thank you, Kelsey. That is all for this episode of Ruth Fisher News.
Thank you for watching us this year.
Have a great end to our school year. Go!